Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over 15 to 20 minutes here of mobility and stretching for recovery. So what do you want to have? So mobility, I'll run you through the mobility stuff. I'm just going to try that music that just helps with recovery and mindfulness and breathing. A little meditative. But it's completely your choice on what you want to have for music for mobility and recovery. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through the mobility portion, just like 5 or 6 seconds for each thing of mobility. And so 5 or 6 seconds for mobility. Then I want to go through the stretching. It's always at least a minimum of 20 seconds, and ideal when you have lots of time, up to a minute. But for today, for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to do 20 seconds. So what you want to do is set your timer. I'm going to give you the demonstration. I'll go through the time and that with you in the explanation. But you want to have your timer. And then if you find that one mobility exercise or one stretching exercise feels a little bit better for what your needs are, for your hips, for your back, whatever it may be, then just sit into that a little bit longer, making sure that you're listening to your body. Okay, so I have my band on the side for after. We'll do mobility first. So the first one is kind of like a hip opener. So what you do is you're taking a modified T-spine position with your knee down and behind. Got my right foot in front. Now keep in mind I do a lot of mobility and stretching all the time. So what may look like for me, a lot more mobile may not be as mobile for you. So listen to your body, breathe deeply through it. Okay, so I've got that modified T-spine. My hands are parallel to my feet. My hands are parallel to my feet. And all I want to do, just to open up the hip and the back a little bit, I just take a deep breath in. I'm breathing out, bending my elbows in towards the ground. Breath in, coming back up, out, bending my elbows in towards the ground. Just doing that 3 or 4 times. Big deep breath in. Good. Now, if that feels really good to you and it's a lot more looser and things are a little more available to go a little further, what you want to do is bring your hand in behind back your foot and do the same thing. Big deep breath in, breathing out, deep breath in, breathing out. And then from there, what you would do is, if it's not fully available to push off that back foot for T-spine, you just do that modified T, open everything up, holding for a few seconds. Fully available to push off that back leg, push off that back leg, right? Same arm reaches towards the same leg in front, breathe. And then you would repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So we're gonna go here, kneeling position, hands are parallel, chest is nice and long, spine nice and long. Working with your breath. Breathing out, bending your elbows in towards the ground. And again, deep breath in. Breathing out, bending your elbows, bringing your chest in towards the ground. And if it's only a little bit, that's okay. Just really listen to your body. Deep breath in, out. And then same thing, if it's available to bring your hand in behind. Deep breath in, breathing out. Big deep breath in, out, breathe down. So now what you're going to do is push off that back leg. And big deep breath. Reaching up with that T-spine towards your left. Good. And so from there, we're going to do a couple inchworms, and going into the inchworm, kind of into the downward dog as well. Okay, so if you need to come down on your knees all in between, or your upper body is feeling really fatigued, just leave this one out. Okay. So you're in that plank position. Okay, looking towards your toes, kind of dropping down into that downward dog. Breathe and coming forwards. And then when you come forward, pulling your toes in towards your nose so you have that nice deep stretch on the back of your legs. And if you need to modify this, walking it back is really kind of difficult on your upper body, just go down into that kneeling position. Walk your hands back in and then go back down Deep breath in into that downward dog, pushing your heels down, letting that breath, and then walking it out gently. One more here, big deep breath. Breathing out, pulling your toes in towards your nose. So now from there, I'm going to go into a downward dog, child's pose. So toes will be together, knees will be wide, toes will be together, knees will be wide. So stretching out your hips, always making sure to take deep breaths in and breathing out through the tension. Deep breaths in, breathing out through the tension. So I'm in the child's pose, toes are together, knees are wide, show that front view here a little easier, okay? Walking your hands out. Just gonna adjust the camera so you can see my hands a little better. Toes together, knees are wide, walking your hands out, relaxing your forehead down, deep breath in, breathing out, pulling your shoulders back and down away from your ears. And breathing here. So holding this one, because this is more of a stretch, for again, 20 to 60 seconds, depending on how your knees are feeling, how everything's feeling, right? Working with your breath through the tension. Now you've held this for 20 to 60 seconds. Please stretch out your sides a little bit more. You come up a little, walk it over as far as you can to one side. Sitting down into your hips, big deep breaths here. Breath in, breathing out. Again, holding 20 to 30 seconds or more on each side. Big deep breath in, back down into the opposite side, walking up to the opposite side, breathe. All right, so now this one is for your upper mid back. So you have your one hand in behind, still going to that child's pose. Right hand faces up and palms out. Breath in, sitting back. So you're gonna look towards that left side with your left hand in front. Right palm is up underneath. Deep breath. Breathing out. And again, 20 to 30 seconds. Sitting back up. Right hand, or left hand, sorry, is gonna come up underneath that right arm. Palm faces up. And looking down towards that right palm, deep breath. Sitting down. Now, if it's not fully available for you to get your head down or anything on the ground, what you can do is put, like, if it's really awkward to sit down here and your head feels really strained, you would just take like a mat or something, or a pillow, whatever you've got in your house, and you can ease into it without straining your neck. Okay? So that is different stretches for your hips, your lower back for the child pose. So now I'm going to go through some stretching for your lower body using bands. So what you're going to do is, this is for hamstrings and calves. So you're going to have the band around your ball of your foot. And again, so I'm just going to demonstrate for 10-15 seconds, but you hold as needed. You hold as needed. So just pausing the video. Deep breath through each stretch or mobility that feels the best for you. Really helps open everything up. So point your toe in toward your nose. Deep breath in, breathing out, pulling that toe in. And as you're breathing in and breathing out, you want to move through the stretch a little bit further. Move through the stretch a little bit further. So this one's for your calves, your hamstrings, okay? Calves and hamstrings. Now, if it's your hamstring that's a little more tight and your calf feels really loose, what you do is just bend your knee a little bit and pull that hamstring in a little straighter. For me, my hamstrings are pretty flexible, so it's always my calves that need a little bit more. But for hamstrings, you just bend your knee a little bit and pull it, okay? So now for your lower back and for your IT band, what you would just do is look the opposite way that your leg's gonna go. So I've got my right leg and my right leg is going to my left. Deep breath in, breathing out, letting that right leg fall across the body gently with the band, controlling it with your band tight to your body. Always relaxing your neck down on the ground. Big deep breaths here. Okay, and then for your inner thigh, I'll show the opposite way here. Deep breath in, breathing out, letting that right leg come right out. Deep breath in, breathing out, let that leg come out. Controlling with the band. The band manipulates how far you could stretch. And then what you would do, this one's for your glutes and your lower back. You just cross that same leg. So it's just focusing, stretching on that right side completely. Cross that same leg. Deep breath in, breathing out, pulling that leg in. Deep breath in, breathing out, pulling that leg in. Deep breath in, breathing out. Pulling your left leg in and focusing on stretching that right side. Pulling that left leg in, focusing on stretching that right side. Okay, so you can see me call it a pretzel stretch, glute pie stretch, there's all kinds of names for it. Now, again, so you're holding 20 seconds to a minute for each stretch. Remember, you're breathing through it and not rushing the stretch. You're breathing through it and not rushing. You always want a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds for the stretch to be effective, because mobility is for your joints, your synovial fluid. Okay? That's at the beginning. Okay. Stretching is to help elongate your muscles, and help with recovery. So to help really repair your muscles when they've been working hard. Okay, so now let that leg come across. Big deep breath again, holding 20 to 30 seconds. Big deep breath. Letting that leg come out. Breathe. Having your timer there. And then what you want to do is cross that left leg again. So you're working 3-4 stretches on that one side of your body, lower back, nice and loose. Okay, so now, last little bit here for your upper body. So you can do this, I'm just gonna demonstrate kneeling, but you can totally do this standing and then come up and down. So hands are gonna be wide, shoulder dislocate, so arms are as straight as you can, coming back, and then forwards a few times. Now you're gonna do it the opposite way. And again, if it's not fully available for your arms to come completely forwards, all you would just do is bring it up, and each time trying to go a little bit further. So palms would be forwards, sticks behind your back, coming up, and then back down. And then this one can be done with a stick, or it can be done with a chair. Try something first. And this one is a stretch, not so much mobility. So where you'd have your hand over hand, firmly on top of something. When you're sitting down into your hips, knees above, big deep breath in, and breathing out. Breathing into it. Good. So there you go. So that is mobility and flexibility for your recovery on your days off to help your aches, pains. Make sure you set your timer to help you go along. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message and check in. Okay. Good work.